Good day to all you glorious rapscallion bastards. The name's FOXSOL. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Wavering Waves, and I hope that you're having a extremely amazing day. Today's video, we're going to end up discussing the main topic at hand, which is energy regen and if it's actually vital to have. So I'll tell you like this. We've already did a video before about energy regen with the echoes, and this is going to be more of an updated version over that. So let's ignore that video. Let's start from scratch because I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm brand new, baby. So go ahead, take a seat, grab you something to drink. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so I'm gonna have to be completely honest with you all. My opinion has completely changed about energy regen in a number of different ways. And I wanted to make this guide to be an update to the last video that I made, which was only talking about the energy regen that we can get from, you know, echoes, to explain to you guys that, you know, I don't honestly think, like, compared to my old self, I don't think energy regen is as viable of a stat that you need. Now, with that being stated, what we're talking about here is that there is 3 cost echoes, which are elite echoes that you can put on any of your characters. And one of the stats that you can get on it, that's a random stat you can get, that is a main stat, is energy regen. You can also get on like 1s and 4s, you know, a substat that's energy regen, but we're talking all of this together. I don't think it is an unnecessary need to build up your energy regen at all on a majority of the characters. I think some characters, very few, would benefit from this, and I'll give examples on that. But for the majority of every unit in the game as of right now in 1.1, there is no true benefit from it.
My flames
and
kept in check.
Yeah, we need to first actually discuss, though, before we can get into anything, about what type of energy is in this game. Okay, and I'm going to try to break this down in a very, very simplistic tone. Okay, so that way, if you're not part of the grand scheme of Wavering Waves, you're brand new, this should hopefully make sense to you, and you should be able to get into my head from seeing this. Now, take a look at the screen, and right here where you see R at, I'm going to go ahead and circle it. This is our alt. This is liberation damage. This is where your energy regen is going to help you. This little gauge right here fills up, and you can see it's pretty much, you know, 1/4 filled right now, as you can see. And the idea is that the more energy regen you have, the faster this gauge builds. And the faster it builds, you goes all the way to the top, you're able to pop it, and then whatever your cooldown is on it is going to be like for Mort right here, it's at 20 seconds. While it's on cooldown and you're still playing and you're still fighting and everything, you can still build while it's under a cooldown. So that way, energy regen is helping in that regards. The second form of energy that we have in this game is another little meter that you can see, which is right here, which this energy is the Concerto energy. I think I pronounced that correctly, and if I didn't, go ahead and criticize me in the comments below. But this energy right here helps with one thing and one thing only. This right here helps with the outro skills. So we want to switch out to our character. We want to perform an outro into an intro skill with each one of our characters. This is the meter that we need to fill. Echo energy. Energy regen from echoes that you are going to put in, or anything that says energy regen, does not fill this meter. It only fills this meter. And possibly future-wise skills in general may, with new characters coming out and stuff like this may end up becoming, you know, an energy efficient, you know, new tool with the game as it grows. Don't know, but I'm just saying. Let me go ahead and clear this out. So we're going to discuss first, before we get into the Concerto energy, we're going to discuss about energy regen for our alt.
My flames.
And the reason why going ahead and worrying about energy regen on some characters does not benefit you. Okay. And the best way to go through this is, let's go ahead and get back my mouse, come into here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at our resonators. So overlooking the resonators, what we can go ahead and already determine from what you're listening to so far is that energy regen is not a big thing. Okay. For some characters like Mortifi, you know, you can pop it over and over and it can help a character out like Jinshi, because she needs to have her resonance skill going with incantation. This will help tremendously to make sure that incantation is consistently getting more involved with his alt. We can see that with GN, as another example with energy regen, that this character can benefit greatly with the alt, because even though it's a 20-second cooldown, if you can build that energy in 15 seconds, by the time that 20-second cooldown burns out, you can straight go right back into alt right the minute that it comes back up. You don't have to wait an additional like 5-10 seconds for you to keep building energy up, because you have that energy regen on the character. So sacrificing some damage to build alt for certain units is a beneficial option. But again, it doesn't affect someone like Chan Li. It doesn't affect someone like Jinshi, because these are characters that their resonance skill damage does, you know, their main damage is that's where their main focus in their kit is on the resonance skill damage. Alt damage is useless at that point. We can cancel it out. It's just bonus. It's just flashy bonus damage that will do a little bit, but it's not impressive enough to actually use. So what should we be focusing on then at that point, if energy regen is, you know, not a necessary vital stat? Well, in cases of like my supports, you'll see, and we'll go back to Mortifi here. You'll see that the weapon that we have is a 4-star weapon, is the Condensa. And you'll see that right here, and I'll go ahead and pop up my pencil here, that this right here weapon every 20 seconds is providing me with 14 Concerto energy, which is allowing my outro skill to grow faster. So along with doing general damage, along with doing skill damage, alt damage, dodging, all this other good stuff that you would normally be doing, that would be building that meter anyway, we're getting an additional 14 every 20 seconds. And if we would rank this weapon up even more, I think it goes up to 15 if I'm not mistaken. I believe that Baichi, yeah, like Baichi's one is at 70 right now, and you see it goes up to 16. I don't think I have another weapon. No, because it's maxed out. So at 16. This right here is what we should be focusing on when it comes to our characters, especially for sub DPSs, especially for, you know, supports that they're not going to be really mainstream working. We need them just to be, how can I put this? We need them just to be useful. Think of it like this. You have an employee, you know, that comes into the company, just hired, they're a newbie, they don't know what to do. You're the supervisor. What do you do with that person? Oh, well, you go to training and everything, but you can't put them into training. You need them working today. You can't put them on the more advanced equipment. You can't put them into more advanced studies or anything like this, but you could go ahead and put them into surplus, because all they're going to do is put shit on a pallet and they're just going to wrap it up and they're going to ship it out. It's an easy damn job. You're going to put them on the easiest job there is. So looking at a situation like that and looking at, you know, this, we already know that Baichi, we already know that Mortifi, 2 supports, a sub DPS and a support. All we care about is the outro skill. We care about them buffing our main DPS. So we're more focusing. We need to focus more now on doing energy restoration, which is the Concerto energy. This is what is going to matter. This is where I'm starting to look at weapons. I'm starting to look at different kits on what we can do to build this meter the fastest. If you can make sure that your meter, that you're getting more Concerto energy and you're building your outro meter faster, then you're good. Because when it comes to outro skills, we're looking to see about just how fast that we can do it. And Echo energy, Echo energy regen doesn't affect this. It doesn't really affect it. In some ways it can, okay? And what I mean by that is that, for an example, Mortifi, by him being able to do, in one rotation, 2 alts, let's just say, you're going to leave him on the screen for 40 seconds. From the 40-second mark, if you're able to go ahead and do 2 outros, not 2 outros, if you're able to do 2 alts, do all the damage, do everything you need to do, you're going to build that meter just a little bit faster of a hair than you would before, especially if you don't have the weapon that allows you to restore 14 energy. That's where outro skill does come in play. Outro skill, that's where, energy regen would come into play, because then we have to rely on the alt itself to build up the energy on the alt a little bit faster. Does that make sense? I hope so. So let's go ahead and let's recap this one more time, and then we'll go ahead and end the video at that point. Alrighty, so this is going to be pretty much the recap of the video, and hopefully you're getting my train of thought on this and you're understanding what I'm getting at. If not, I will try to do this a little bit better, but hopefully even this recap will be a good understanding of the reason why energy regen is not really a vital stat. So what we already came in conclusion with, and we should already have understand now, is that if the character itself is based on 2 different things, okay, we're gonna put it in 2 categories. This category right here is going to be for resonant skill, heavy damage, basic damage, anything there is that is not an alt. And then we have alt. Okay? If the character's kit, right, is going to be more focused over here, then energy regen is not going to help us. We don't need to worry about energy regen. However, if the character's kit heavily involves around alt, then energy regen would be a vital stat at that point in time. Right now, the only 2 characters I could think of that would vitally, that could see any benefit from it would be GN and Mortifi, because I believe it's only their kits so far that I could think of right now off the top of my head that would benefit from this. But future wise, or even if there is a character I'm missing that their kit revolves around alt damage or, support for alt and stuff regards like that, then at that point in time, yes, energy regen can be a benefit. Is it necessary still though? No, I don't think it's still necessary. I think that you're still going to build up damage. You're going to build it up anyway normally. I think it's better to go ahead and still focus on, general damage, if anything, and letting substat energy regen, like the substats that you would normally collect anyway, be a stat under it, not actually focus on putting like a cost 3 echo for energy regen. So with that being stated and that being there, what should we be focusing on, especially if you have a support and a sub DPS? This is a depending, okay? This all right here also depends. If it's based around alt, energy regen is great. It's a good idea and everything else. Now, there's two ways to look at this. Okay. There's two ways as well to look at this. Way number one is that the support or the sub DPS, you know, you haven't done nothing with them. They have no resources. All right. You haven't used them. They have no resource management whatsoever. They're basically, all honest to God, you're just throw them on a team just to throw them on a team. Just like I explained with my GN build, my Jianshi build and everything else. They are just characters that is on there just for the outro skill. And then you'll have the second category here where you do have resources on them. You know, you actually spent time to build them up. So these are going to be your resource build-up characters.
Experiment data to process.
I know I just spelled that wrong. That's all right. So, and this is your resource build-up characters. Here again, okay? This is where we also got to think of as well. If the support and the sub DPS falls into you haven't built them up, you haven't given them resources, energy regen probably will not be a factor that you should look at here. So then energy regen, there should be no energy regen, I would say, at this case regard. You should be focusing more on putting HP, putting attack, you know, defense, just to make sure that like these level 50, level 40 characters that you haven't put no resource in, but you're putting with your level 90s can just take a hit because you can't dodge worth a damn at that point in time. Something happens, the game lags. You just need to make sure that they have survivability. That's it. But if you have resources that, you know, they're alt focus, everything else right here, but you have worked on them, then this is where you need to consider if energy regen is still a good thing, but energy regen would be for this case. Is when you have resources that is moderately built up, they've been min-maxed, they're at a good state. This is where you can look at the echoes at the building phase. To me, we should be focusing on, ta-da-da, we shouldn't be focusing on energy regen still. We should be focusing on
with temperance and discipline. My flames
energy,
will be kept in check.
whatever, energy restoration, which is our control energy crap right here. We need to be focusing on this. We need to be focusing on making sure that this gets as fast as possible on any sub DPS, on any support class, so that way our outro skill meter here builds up faster. The faster that builds, the more you can buff your DPS, and that more damage your DPS can do. Simple as that. So in conclusion to all of this that we've been discussing in this entire video and going for so long, yes, I personally am going to say, unless the kit requires alt, then at that point in time, you don't need to be focusing on any type of energy regen at all on that character. Unless otherwise, future-wise, this right here, skills start having the need to be, you know, start having the ability to have energy built into them to where you got to build up energy on a skill, just like you would with an alt in order to use it. Then at that point in time, we can discuss this in a future endeavor. But until that time happens, with 1.1 right now as it is, energy regen is not at all a factor that we have to really think about. We should be focusing on survivability. Like I said, we should be focusing on making sure that this guy right here, our outro meter, is being built up as fast as possible. So weapons that allow it, you know, give us 14, 16 with the 4-star weapons that we can throw on a sub DPS or a support that we normally would never use, just to make sure that we have a third team for tower adversity, is a great option there. Otherwise, building the characters up so that way they do their own type of damage with their resonant skill, with their basic damage, their heavy damage, is something that we need to work, and we need to make sure that we're complementing that more than focusing on any type of energy regen on a character. That was surely a lot. Hopefully this video, hopefully my thought process, hopefully you guys understand where I'm getting at. And, you know, tell me what you think down below in the comment section. And tell me if you like the idea of me drawing on the screen and, you know, pinpointing different things and stuff like this, because this is how I teach people. I use a whiteboard all the time at work, and this is how I teach people different things and about what's working in my head. And if this helped you out and you liked it, I'll start doing more videos like this. But I want to know what your thoughts is. Do you agree or do you disagree with me about energy regen? And if you disagree with me, could you please, by some regards, don't give me a one sentence like, haha, you're stupid. Explain to me why your thought pattern is energy regen is a vital key component to your build. I want to know, because there may be something that I am missing and I would like to know it. All right. And if you agree with the video, consider giving it a like, consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, guys, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.